So guys, if you normally don't play CRPGs and mostly ARPGs, which is why probably you're on this channel, then this is a video for you, because I think that right now with Baldur's Gate 3 this is the perfect moment, if there ever was one, to get into this genre, and this video is all about that. 2 reasons why you should. Hey everybody, I'm Thyworm. I'm usually playing a lot of ARPGs, particularly hack-and-slash games. But if you are unaware, I am also playing quite a few CRPGs, and I've been playing these for decades. If you're ever curious about this game, and you might be, because let's be honest, everybody's playing it, and you might be, well, should I as well? I'll give you today 2 reasons as to why I think, yeah, you should, and you're probably going to have a good time. Which brings me to the first topic, which is the difficulty. I've played on normal difficulty for the first 12 hours and I got annoyed. Because what happens, especially if you are not too familiar with the Dungeons and Dragons sort of dice play style, and you might think that I am by now because I've been playing so many of these games, but honestly I never really got it, and I still don't really get it. It's just a little bit like, I don't know, it's just not something that resonates with me all too well, like these rules and these dice and whatever. It's like, fine. But you might think that it's very difficult because of it, and to some extent it is. Because there are a lot of things that are factored in. Whether your character hits or misses depends on your dice roll, your attributes, the enemy's armor class. There are a lot of things to take into account. Ultimately, you just see a percentage whenever you hover over an enemy, but these percentages in normal difficulty tend to get pretty low, especially if you don't know all the ins and outs of this combat system, which is quite a daunting task. And over time, I got more and more annoyed. And yeah, I could make it through like the encounters, but it was constant quick save, quick load, quick save, quick load. And I know that's a whole meme within the genre, and I get it. But I just didn't want to play that way. I have enough complexity in my everyday life as it is. I have a job that requires me to think about like strategic topics all day long, pretty much, as an IT architect. And what I really don't need in my life is when I play a game in the evening, I also have to take into account 16 different parameters in order to make the correct decision, right? I'm getting paid to do that during the day. But at night, I don't necessarily want to do that. And so I lowered the difficulty to Explorer mode. What Explorer mode does, it's basically like a story mode difficulty. The enemies have less HP, your party has more HP, your party hits more often. All in all, the fights get a lot easier. And you may get like this sort of Dungeons and Dragons nerds or the elitists saying that, you know, you shouldn't be playing like this. But guys, don't let anyone tell you how to play this. If you enjoy these games on normal difficulty or even the harder difficulty, be my guest, right? But I just played this on Explorer mode, and I'm happy I did. Because the Explorer mode, it allows you to really enjoy the game's story, the world, the atmosphere, the character dialogues. This game has a lot to offer outside of the combat. I think this is one of the sort of true immersive experiences that you can have in gaming. There are really not that many games that completely sort of pull you into a world, and this is one of those games that has that for sure. And I think that's impressive, and that was the part that I wanted to focus on. The second reason, another compelling argument I think why you should try this genre, is because of meaningful decisions. Now, there are other genres like the ARPG genre where you are making meaningful decisions, but that usually limits itself to your build and to what you're going to play, or maybe the skill points that you take, the gear that you take, that sort of thing. And I don't really want to start a discussion here about what meaningful choices are, but typically when games advertise meaningful choices, they talk about the story. and the choices and the impact that has on the environment. There are many games that claim that you have meaningful choices because that is overall seen as like a positive, right? It's a positive, it means that the world is dynamic and that you don't exist in sort of this static scripted environment, but instead you exist in a dynamic world with like NPCs that can be influenced and the world and the storyline that can be influenced. But while many games claim it, not really that many games actually deliver on this promise. But Baldur's Gate 3, let me tell you guys, it's pretty nuts. This whole genre, I think one of the key staples of the CRPG genre is that it does allow you to really have an impact on the created world. But Baldur's Gate 3 seems to take it one step further even. It completely, for example, locks you out in a playthrough of entire zones because you made a choice. The game basically tells you, oh yeah, by the way, that other zone that we told you about, it's completely off limits, right? You can't get there anymore, and I absolutely love that because that means you should get another playthrough. It means that there is actually, you know, a consequence to the choices that you made. And I think more than that, this game is willing to basically completely change your playthrough simply because you made a choice. So I'll give you an example of this without spoiling anything. At some point you reach a location, and this location is full of NPCs that you already know throughout your playthrough. So this is, for me, this was about 25 hours into the game. I enter this location and then all of a sudden this sort of villain pops up and he tries to threaten one of my key NPCs. And I have a choice. Will I go along with his plot and just deliver the NPC to him? Will I fight him on the spot, or will I try to make some sort of sassy remark? I chose to fight him on the spot. I'm doing like a good playthrough. So I fight him on the spot in this location with all these other NPCs present. And what happens is this guy releases a sort of, let's say, toxin or curse that not only curses my party, as it turns out, no, it curses the entire location, including all of the NPCs that are there, ending in the process 5 side quests that I was working on, which all of a sudden I am unable to complete because all of these people died. It's like completely decimating a location, all of the NPCs in it. All of a sudden half my quest log is empty because they were all there, now they're all dead. And it's like, holy moly, like what kind of game does this? It's super rare that you can go as far as in Baldur's Gate 3, and I think this is quite a unique experience that in theory many genres could offer, but not many do. You typically have it like in your Skyrim kind of game, and in this CRPG genre is quite common, but it doesn't take it as far as Baldur's Gate 3 does, which is unique and which is, I think, another huge selling point. This is just not something that you encounter very often, not even in the CRPG genre, and it's another reason why I think you should try it out. And that's really all I got for you today, guys. Thanks for watching once again. I hope you enjoy these little videos. I certainly enjoy making them, and I'm super grateful for like all the nice comments and the support. So yeah, if you enjoy more of these, feel free to subscribe. I always appreciate that, of course. I hope you have a good week, and I will talk to you soon. Bye bye.